How about now? Hey, there we go. Something changed with my audio settings. Trying out this voice meter app. Hopefully, it's going to make my audio sound a little bit better, make my voice sound a little bit deeper. You can compare it to last night's stream and see what the difference is. Um, so yeah, I'm gonna do some streaming tonight of the compensation survey again. Um, while I am at while I'm in here in OBS, I'm gonna add something that says exactly what I'm doing down here in the corner. We're gonna say Messabout explanation. Sure. Find the official-ish Code and Supply font, which is Libre Franklin. It's the one that I like to use in a lot of places. Doing some fun stuff. I don't really like how that looks with the you know what? I'm gonna leave it. Make it a little bit bigger though. There we go. Now you can see the little message that I put on there. Let's go actually get into the thick of it here. So what you should be seeing now is my elementary OS desktop. I like to use elementary OS for a lot of the stuff that I do, and just a personal preference. No particular affinity, no particular reason. I just like how it looks. I'm pulling up Twitch and YouTube on another computer that I've got down here so that I can try to watch chat. I'm not super great at paying attention to chat, but we'll see what happens as I'm doing it. Yeah, there we go. All right. So where we left off last night, I had to reboot my VM, so my windows are a little bit all over the place. Last night we were working on some to-dos in the IT career section and some other to-dos. Those are still open. We merged everything else. There's still a little more stuff to do with these. So I think tonight I'm going to be looking over each page in order to see, in order to make sure we don't have any visual artifacts. So I'm running make-j to run make in parallel mode. It's going to try to run as many tasks as it can at the same time. There's not a whole lot to run in parallel in this particular build setup because I've got one or two PDFs being generated, and then the main PDF gets generated, and then a task kind of mashes them all together at the very end. It takes a few minutes. Not minutes, I guess. About 45 seconds. All right, I've got this cool thing that'll open it up, and we can start reading through and seeing what we want to look for. So one of the things I might do, what I probably should do is get this final pre-release message out, because we're going to do another release to our reviewers before I do like a final copy. And we were going to do that last night, but it's going to happen tonight. I'm going to change that. But this is going to be UTC, so I'm past that, so it's going to have to be 2.2. Oops. 10202. I'll do a tagged release before I'm done here. Maybe not before I'm done, because I do have that other PR to merge. So, another thing I want to set up in the background. It's my watch job. Unfortunately, we have to build everything again because it changed that draft.md file. For those of you who are just joining us and may be wondering what stack that I'm working in, I'm working in Pandoc specifically. Pandoc is a universal document converter. It allows us to write prose in Markdown and then convert it to a really nice looking PDF through LaTeX. Those of you who are familiar with LaTeX can see the Computer Modern or Latin Modern font that's being used in these first few pages where we haven't really done anything to change the font settings. But the rest of the document is using a different font. I think we're using Noto Serif for the rest of the document. Pandoc is wonderful for this purpose. We can do some nice things with, we don't have any equations in this document, but we do have some places where we're using like mathematical notation for things. So that's a really convenient thing to have. We get nice management of links and contents and lists of figures and tables for free, basically. It's a really nice setup to have. I do a whole talk on Pandoc. It's the document workflow talk. If you Google search on YouTube for Colin Dean document workflow, you'll see a few talks that I've done. Write the Docs, Open Libre Free, and this coming weekend actually is FOSDEM. So if you're in Europe, you're familiar with FOSDEM, you'll be able to catch a version of the talk that I did especially for FOSDEM. So now that this is built, we've got our watch running. What I want to do is just start looking through the document. We're up to about 106 pages, and see if I can find any visual things that I don't like that I want to fix. One of the things that I know that I've seen is there's some weirdness with how this text renders because of the width of the sections there, the number of the width of the text in the index line item. I'm not going to worry about that right now because that's probably going to be something I'd have to get down into LaTeX to deal with, and I don't really want to deal with that. So I'll come back to it another time. And probably never, actually. We'll just leave it. I've been over chapter 1 and chapter 2 15 bajillion times. So I'm just going to kind of scroll past them. And just keep on going. Read over this. This is one of the first graphs that the reader is going to see. We want to make sure that how things are explained makes sense. One of the things I'm not super hot about is how our glossaries stuff is working, where I would like to have these things be expanded upon their first reference, but not condensed on second reference per chapter. Right now it's per document. I haven't figured out how to do that. I may not be able to do it. Those are looking pretty good. We're going to get some more added in there. There's a to-do list item for the quick takeaways. I'd like to get this to be a little bit longer. Now, chapters 6 and 7 are also ones that I've spent a lot of time reading. So I might just kind of gloss over these, because I shouldn't see any. There shouldn't be any visual bugs in here. Oh, here's one of the examples of using mathematical notation. But hey, we found our first render bug. There's something wrong here. That should have a mathematical thing on it. That's in our compensation and job title. So we're here. And hey, look at that. That's a nice easy bug to fix. But you know what? I'm going to wait till it finishes rendering to make sure that it is actually going to work. Yep, that worked. Cool. So let's commit that. I'm just going to commit to master on that. And we're back to reading. Cool, that section's looking pretty good. The graphs are looking pretty good. I've gone over them a lot. One of the things that we think that we would like to do next time we do the survey is to find a way to programmatically build all these graphs. These are PDF exports from Tableau, and they look great. They print kind of small for what we'd like, but I think maybe in the future we'd like to somehow generate these ourselves using D3 or GNU plot or something that will fit our workflow a little bit better. This is one of the more interesting graphs that I saw when going through here. that shows that there's a moderate relationship between the years of work experience and expected total contribution for people who are under 90,000. This is indicating that people who are junior or mid-level in at least the Allegheny County area and around Pittsburgh is it's probably more of an indicator that they're not getting significant bonuses or RSUs that would bump up their total compensation in strange ways. So the longer you've been in, the higher your total compensation is, but only up to about 90,000. That's one of the very interesting takeaways about this. Hello, Abhishek. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to cruise past the rest of these. So now we're digging into managers. This is another section that I've looked into a lot. So I probably shouldn't see a whole lot of changes in here. In fact, I think I worked a bit on this section last night after I streamed. Our goal was to try to get 2 graphs per page. Might end up being a little bit small and printed, but we're not really expecting a whole lot of people to print these. I think we ourselves are actually going to get some hard copies, just because we can. All right, so this is a section that I've read over a little bit, but I haven't read over in detail, so I'm going to read over it. I haven't read over it in detail for probably about 2 weeks, so hopefully not a whole lot's changed. A lowercase fig there someplace. Boom. Some places where we have not added in etc as a glossary link, so I'm going to do that. For those of you who haven't seen this, this is our way of doing glossary cross-references using a Pandoc glossary plugin. Cool. Yeah, it's still running. Hello, if you've just joined us, I just noticed somebody else peeked in. It's kind of funny. I'm watching myself on YouTube on this machine, but there's like a different delay between YouTube and Twitch. Twitch is like almost immediate, where YouTube's delayed by about 20 seconds. It's also going through Restream too, so there's a little bit of added delay, but maybe a second. All right, these graphs are looking pretty good. These graphs are looking pretty good. Wish I could get a little more text at the last little bit of here. Where is that coming? Yeah, it's this last little sentence here. It's a bit of a strange orphan in that last page. I'm just going to leave it for now. Let's commit that little bit that I changed. This is another section that I've read a whole lot, so I might skip over it for now. I don't really like how these bibliographical references are popping up. Feel a little strange. Let's go check it. Let's go check out those. Oh yeah, we need some dates on here. All right, so let's use the good old git blame to take a look at when we added that Glassdoor technical support engineers salaries link. That's line 76. So that was 21.106. So we're going to add that as the URL date on there. So we've got a retrieval date. And then let's go look and see if there was a publish date on this. No, this is just data. So just have to go with URL date. And then data engineer salaries is right up above it. Also retrieved on, looks like I was actually on that one was on the 5th. And cybersecurity salaries was on the 6th. A URL date's used in BibTeX to indicate when something was retrieved. You know what? That's non-dated because it's not dated information. I'm gonna leave it for now. What I might do is see if we can link bibliographies. Create a to-do for that. Yeah, I'd like for that to be linked. So resuming. These graphs are all looking okay for now. You know what? I am gonna not make any more changes in here because that other open PR might have made some changes in there. All right. Hey, we got our first graphical bug here. Tenure. Yep. So we got to put that on the next line. And see how we want to integrate this reference. Hey, somebody just noticed that we're on Twitch. Hello, Net Think Tank. Um, so do I want that to be 5.5 or 6? Let's say 5.5. I kind of like writing out things. Just reads better. I'm gonna break these into 2 different sections. I put that to do in there so we can make sure that we actually include that question, because that question has some nuances to it. Somebody might say like, well, tenure at your employer. Well, does that mean your like most recent role at your employer, or like a recent company? Like, what if you've bounced around within that company? I don't remember exactly how we worded the question, but I think it was your most recent employer, or most recent employer before your current employer, I think was how we worded it. I think. I'm not certain. Which is why I'm putting the to do in there so that somebody else can verify that I did it right. Oh, I see what happened. Restart my watcher. Oh, come on. what happened is that I was in the middle of the to-do whenever Enter decided to do its thing in my Watcher tab, and so the document cut off the entire rest of this particular file. Kind of funny, or at least up to the end of the next comment. So wait until it comes back. I'll take a drink. I'm gonna go here for about another 5 to 10 minutes. I'm now out of water. Oh, it's right there in the time at current employer. Current employer. Get rid of the to-do. I wonder how many other places we've said this year's. I want to check that. I guess that would match. Okay. All right. Let's continue. I like that, so we're going to change it. I'm gonna do another good blame on that. 40. 16. I don't like how those parentheses are rendering, but I'm going to leave them for right now. I want it to be like you're dropping some text out of what you're reading, and then you're going to cite it at the end rather than a direct reference like that. A good way to differentiate between the two. For those of you who are joining us, actually I've got a few people watching now. Just a reminder, I'm working on the compensation survey results, doing some cleanup before we do another release to our reviewers tonight. And we're hoping to get this out by the end of the week as a soft release to Slack, and then a release to the world sometime in the next week or two. So you're getting a little bit of a preview here. All right, I'm happy with the changes that I made to that chapter. So let's commit those changes. Not the best. We'll go with it. All right. Hey, that's a spelling mistake. One of the bad things about using a text editor for this is I don't really think that this text editor has any spelling correction in it. Oh yeah, I guess there is a spell checker. I think I turned this on at some point and it was bad. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Turn it on. Did I turn it on? Yeah, it's on. I'm gonna underline. I don't remember how many people actually said that they had a paid take home. Was this in the? That's jobs required. No, we don't have a graph for paid take home. Oh, we do. Green. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 10. Oh. So 13. 13 is, I think, 785. Divided by 785. 0.6%. That's fascinating. I know my first, interestingly enough, my first day of interviewing ever in my career, I was paid for. I was paid $100 to come work for this company for a day as a part of an interview. Did like interviews in the morning, and then in the afternoon, I basically just took some work down off the tree and did it. It was a simple CRUD app. They had lots of little stuff for people to do, so it worked out. I got $100, paid my gas, because it's well, my gas wasn't $100 in gas, but it was about an hour and a half drive there and back. 3 hours driving, not fun. Anyway, let's back out of this a little bit. So we got a bug in the table. Yep. Oh. Unfortunately, that's not how markdown tables work, so we have to fix that. Pandoc has its own version of markdown tables. I think they call them tabular tables, something like that. I don't remember the name for it. They would allow you to do like a multi-line thing, but pipe tables like we've been using don't let you do that. So back, and hopefully that fixed it. Now my watcher freaked out whenever I deleted stuff. See what happens. We're checking to make sure that this goes away. We don't want this. Hey, fixed it. Cool. So let's commit that. Yeah, that looks pretty good to me. All right, I think I'm gonna stop there. At least stop the stream. I might do a little more tonight, but that's all I got. Thank you very much for watching. If you stayed on this long, I can't see who's watching. I can see that there are a few people watching. I think we're up to 3 or 4. So thanks for tuning in. I'm trying to get myself to do a little more live coding, and this is a part of that. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. Before you go, I do want to point out our the Code and Supply jobs board. Hopefully that's showing on the screen now. We've got a really cool job board where you can go look and see some jobs, and you can post them as well. It's really cheap to post. Probably one of the cheapest places online that charges. So it's very widely syndicated to Twitter and Slack and a few other things. So yeah, give it a check out. So with that, I think that is it for now. I will catch y'all later. Thanks for watching.